James Carter had never imagined that a single parent-teacher meeting could unravel emotions he'd tightly locked away for years. But as he stood outside the classroom door adjusting the collar of his shirt for the fourth time, he realized this night was different. His daughter Lily, an outgoing 7-year-old with messy curls and a personality brighter than the sun, tugged his sleeve impatiently while staring up at him with her big curious eyes. "Daddy, why are you nervous? Do you like her?" she asked with mischievous innocence that nearly made him choke. "Like who?" he stammered, trying to sound casual as he wiped his sweaty palm against his jeans. But he knew exactly. Who, the woman with soft brown hair who always knelt down when she spoke to children, who remembered every detail about Lily's drawings, who once told him with a gentle smile, "Your daughter has the biggest heart in my class." Miss Clara Hayes, the teacher who somehow made everything feel calmer when she walked into a room. As Lily skipped ahead toward the classroom, James inhaled deeply, telling himself to stay composed. He had been alone for 3 years, ever since Lily's mother walked out without goodbye, and dating was something he'd quietly convinced himself he no longer deserved. But Clara's warmth had been chipping away at that story, brick by brick. When he finally stepped inside, her smile hit him like sunlight through a storm. "Hi, James. Hi, Lily," she said, brushing a loose strand of hair behind her ear. Her voice was soft, and yet it carried a confidence that made him straighten unconsciously. As they sat down for the meeting, James found himself watching the way her hands moved, the way she spoke about Lily with genuine admiration, the way her eyes flickered toward him just a little too long before she looked away. He noticed, too, that she seemed slightly flustered, as if she felt it too. Whatever this thing between them was. When the meeting ended, Lily ran ahead down the hallway, leaving the two adults standing in a silence that buzzed with unspoken things. "You're doing a wonderful job with her," Clara said quietly, as though afraid her voice might break the moment. "She's incredible." He swallowed hard, his heart pounding. "Thank you. That means more than you know." She looked up. Their eyes met, and for the first time in years, James felt something he thought was gone forever: hope. The next morning, as James rushed around packing Lily's lunch and searching for her missing shoe, his mind repeatedly drifted back to Clara, the soft smile, the warmth in her eyes, the electricity in that brief moment of silence they'd shared. He tried to push the thoughts away, but his daughter wasn't going to let him off that easily. While sitting on the kitchen counter swinging her legs, Lily suddenly declared, "Daddy, you smiled a lot yesterday." "You never smile like that unless you like someone," he groaned, rubbing his temples. "Lily, grown-ups don't talk about those things." She raised an eyebrow with her 7-year-old sass. "You're a grown-up who blushes." James stopped dead. "I do not blush," Lily giggled. "Your ears turn red when you look at Miss Hayes." He sighed, defeated. Maybe he had been obvious. Maybe he hadn't realized how starved he was for adult connection, how lonely the nights of microwave dinners and unfinished laundry had been. But Clara was different, too good, too gentle. Someone like her didn't fall for single dads with complicated pasts. Yet the memory of her shy smile haunted him all day. After school, Lily insisted on giving Clara a drawing she'd made during class, a picture of 3 stick figures holding hands. When Clara asked who the third person was, Lily proudly announced, "That's you!" "Daddy said you make him feel happy." James nearly dropped dead on the spot. Clara froze, her cheeks flushing a deep pink. Lily, completely unaware of the emotional bomb she'd just detonated, skipped away humming. James swallowed hard, ready to apologize, but Clara surprised him. Instead of awkwardness, she let out a soft laugh. "Kids don't come with filters, do they?" He chuckled nervously. "She exaggerates sometimes." "Does she?" Clara stepped a little closer, her eyes warm but searching. "Or is she just more honest than the adults around her?" His heart stumbled. He didn't know what to say. Clara looked down at Lily's drawing, running her thumb over the crayon lines. "It's sweet," she whispered. Then she looked up again. "James, I'm glad she feels comfortable enough to draw this. And I'm glad you're in her life the way you are." When she handed the drawing back, their fingers brushed, just barely. but enough to send a shiver straight through him. For the first time, he sensed that the hope he felt wasn't one-sided. James spent the next days caught between excitement and fear. Every time he dropped off Lily, Clara greeted them with a warm smile that seemed to linger longer than before. She asked about his job, his weekend plans, even what books he liked. These small conversations filled him with an unfamiliar lightness, yet a part of him braced for disappointment. He'd seen relationships fall apart. He'd lived through the damage. One evening, he found himself standing in front of the mirror, adjusting his shirt for no real reason except that he'd be seeing Clara during a school volunteering event later. Lily peeked into the room with a knowing grin. "You're nervous again," she teased. "Daddy, it's okay to like Ms. Hayes. She likes you too." "How do you know that?" "Because she looks at you the way you look at pizza." He burst out laughing, then froze, realizing Lily wasn't wrong. At the school event, Clara looked radiant in a simple blue dress that matched the sparkle in her eyes. She waved him over to help set up the art booth. As they worked side by side, their arms brushed every so often, sending sparks up his spine. She laughed easily, shared stories about her childhood, and listened intently when he spoke. But beneath the growing closeness, James sensed something fragile in her, an uncertainty that mirrored his own. During a quiet moment, Clara finally voiced it. "James, I should tell you, I'm cautious about getting close to parents," she said softly, straightening a stack of papers to avoid meeting his eyes. "Not because I don't want to, but because people can misread things." His chest tightened. "I would never make things complicated for you," he said. "I respect what you do." "And I respect you." She looked up then, her eyes soft, vulnerable. "That's why this is hard. Because I do feel something, but I don't want it to hurt Lily or you." He stepped closer, heart pounding. "You're not hurting us." For a moment, the world melted away, the noise of children, the clatter of supplies. It was just them, suspended between fear and possibility. But before either could take another step, another teacher called Clara's name, breaking the moment. She forced a smile, one that didn't reach her eyes, and excused herself. James watched her walk away, feeling the sting of losing something he never fully had. What he didn't notice was the way Clara paused in the hallway, pressing a hand to her chest as though trying to steady a heart that felt exactly the same as his. A week passed, and though Clara was still kind and warm, something between them had shifted. She kept conversations short, avoided lingering too long, and didn't let her eyes meet his for more than a heartbeat. James tried to respect her space, but inside he was unraveling. He missed the spark, the easy laughter, the way she made him feel seen. Lily felt it too. "Why is Miss Hayes sad?" she asked one night, swinging her legs from the couch. "She smiles with her mouth but not her eyes." James's heart clenched. Kids saw everything. He knelt beside her. "Sometimes grown-ups get confused about their feelings. Do you still like her?" He hesitated. "Yes." "Then tell her. You always tell me to say sorry when I hurt someone. Maybe you hurt her feelings by hiding your feelings." Her childish wisdom hit him harder than any adult advice ever could. The next day, James arrived early for pickup. His pulse raced as he waited by the classroom door. Clara looked surprised when she stepped out. "James, is everything okay?" He nodded, though his hands shook. "Can we talk for a moment?" She hesitated, then gestured toward the empty hallway. He took a deep breath. "I know you've been keeping distance," he began quietly. "I don't want you to feel pressured or uncomfortable. But I also don't want to pretend like I don't care. What Lily said the other day, it embarrassed me, but she wasn't wrong. I do feel something for you." Clara's breath caught. She crossed her arms, not defensively, but as if holding herself together. "James, I've been trying to protect both of us," she whispered. "I care too. Maybe too much." His heart leapt. "Then why are we acting like we're strangers?" She looked down. "Because we've been hurt before, and because you're a parent. If things went wrong, I could lose so much." He stepped closer, not touching her, but letting her feel the sincerity in his presence. "I'm not asking for promises. I'm asking for honesty. For a chance, even a small one." Clara inhaled shakily. her eyes filling with something raw and hopeful. "I've wanted that too," she admitted, voice trembling. "I just didn't know if you did." Before he could respond, tiny footsteps echoed. Lily peeked around the corner with a grin far too wide for coincidence. "Daddy, did you tell her?" she asked loudly. "Tell me what?" Clara laughed through her nerves. James ran a hand over his face. "That's my secret," he said. Lily nodded proudly. "I knew it." Clara looked at both of them, and the wall she'd built slowly began to crumble. The next afternoon, Clara asked James if they could talk after school. His stomach flipped the entire day. When he arrived, she was waiting by the playground bench where Lily was happily pushing another child on the swing. Clara gestured for him to sit. "I've been thinking," she began, her fingers knotting nervously together. "About you, about Lily, about us." His heart pounded. "Clara, let me finish," she said with a soft smile. "What I feel scares me because it feels real. And real things have consequences. Real things are worth it," he whispered. Her eyes softened. "That's what I'm starting to believe." She reached into her bag and pulled out a familiar drawing, the one Lily had made of the three of them holding hands. "I looked at this every day," she confessed, "because a part of me wanted it to be true." James swallowed hard. "It can be," she exhaled shakily. "Then I need you to know something. I'm not perfect. I get scared. I overthink. And I don't want to hurt Lily." He gently touched her hand, a simple gesture, but it made her breath hitch. "You're not hurting her," he said. "You're giving her something beautiful." Her voice trembled. "And you? You're giving me something. I thought I'd lost forever." Silence hovered between them, but this time it wasn't filled with fear. It was filled with possibility. Clara finally let her hand rest in his. "So, what now?" "Now," James whispered, "we take it slow. We take it real." Suddenly, Lily ran over, breathless with excitement. "Daddy, Miss Hayes! Look at me!" She climbed onto the swing and kicked off the ground, soaring toward the sky. "Are you too happy now?" she shouted. James laughed. Clara blushed. "Kids," she murmured, shaking her head with affection. "She knew before we did," he said. Clara looked at him, really looked, and this time she didn't pull away. She leaned in slowly, giving him every chance to step back. He didn't. Their lips met in a gentle, careful kiss that carried months of unspoken feelings, soft, warm and full of promise. When they pulled apart, Clara whispered, "Your daughter is going to tease us forever." "Probably," he said with a smile. But she was right. "About what?" "About me liking you." Clara rested her forehead against his. "Good," she murmured. "Because I like you too." As Lily laughed on the swing behind them, the sun dipped low, casting golden light over the playground, and for the first time in years, James felt completely undeniably whole. Because his secret was no longer a secret. And the future didn't feel scary anymore. It felt like a beginning.